thank you for accepting the invitation of the Hungarian Testing Board and to come to give this meetup presentation at the Nokia office.
It's my pleasure. Another fun trip to Hungary.
Thanks. Why do you think testing is important for companies? How is it actually paying back to put a lot of money in testing and in testers?
Yeah. Well, the business case for testing varies from one company to another, right? So in some cases, they're looking to reduce the costs of production failures. And in that case, the business case can be calculated pretty easily by comparing the cost of defects found prior to release versus ones that are found in production. And there's a technique called cost of quality that can be used to do that estimation. For other clients, though, their needs are a little different, right? They may be interested in accelerating time to market, in which case they're not just looking at testing anywhere in the life cycle, but they want to do the shift left kind of thing and let's get earlier and find the bugs and make sure they don't pop up as an obstacle to release in the way and to delivery. And then there's clients that very much value the confidence building aspect of testing. So my regulated clients, for example, where there's mission critical or safety critical aspects to what they're doing, or big banks and insurance companies that really don't want to go into production and kind of go, I wonder what's going to happen next. So when you're trying as a tester to explain why what you do matters, I think it's very important to understand the strategic goals of the company as a whole, and make sure that you explain how testing benefits those. And it always does. I mean, there's no such organization, at least that I've found yet, where they can say, we don't have to worry about testing, right? But it's a matter of figuring out, what is that alignment between what we do and what the organization needs.
Okay, I'm really happy that you mentioned shift left. That's my favorite.
Shift left is important. It's not a new idea either. People think, shift left. I worked on a project in 1995, where the guy who was in charge of this program had this 2x4. 2x4 is a big piece of wood. There's one across the street. And on it, he wrote shift left. And he would walk around like beating his palm with this 2x4 as a way of like saying, either you do this or I'm going to hit you with it, right? So this idea that
I need that.
that's very easy. I mean, there's a construction site right across the street, so I'm sure you can go grab a piece of wood. But the basic idea there was he was trying to pound home that message of, let's get the defects out early rather than have these pop up as obstacles. Because for them, time to market was huge. And when they missed release windows, they would actually cancel projects because the profitability of the project went negative if they were too late.
Yeah, for that you need educated testers, right? It's not just anyone can do the testing.
Yes, that was something we ran into on that very project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what is the best way to educate a tester? And I would ask that why is it important actually to hire a certified tester?
Well, the nice thing about the ISTQB certification program is it provides a career path and a structure that people can move up, right? So one of the risks of being self-taught or even just having a self-directed learning path is that you end up learning what interests you, but not always what you need to know as well, right? And so the ISTQB program provides that structure. It's been carefully thought out to align with where things are going and provide people with options. And having that knowledge is important. People being able to be aware of things that matter and trends in the industry and fundamental techniques that in some cases go back 30, 40 years. That's all valuable. Now, it is important that when you have training that be joined with practical application in the workplace. So some of my more successful clients that use RBCS training will have post-training programs where they actually make sure that their people that were trained are applying concepts in day-to-day work and then coming back and reporting success stories. And we find that that's really valuable in terms of that knowledge transfer, especially with some of the things that can be a little tricky, like the test design techniques and so forth.
So sharing the success story is very important for the education as well.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
And what do you think the future will come for testers? What are the areas they need to focus on? What are the topics
Yeah.
they need to learn?
Yeah. Well, I gave a talk about this in Malaysia last year, this, sort of called Shift Left and Friends, which, you know, it's all the stuff that's associated with that. And basically, it has a lot to do with just being more technical, right? Now, testers, you know, they kind of, oh, I don't know how to program, and it's like, it's black magic, how can I ever learn that? No, it's not that hard, right? There are ways to get more technical, and it's not all about coding. People think when you say technical, it's like, oh, I gotta learn Java, or I gotta learn C++. It could be scripting, it could be Selenium, it could be learning about SQL databases, right? But just in general, the whole trend is going to be towards, as I said, the shifting left of the earlier involvement of the testers. And you know, we've been seeing this for years with Agile, and increased emphasis on testers being able to communicate effectively about technical topics within Agile teams. And so I think that's only going to increase. Yeah.
Very good. So not only Agile is coming, right? But scaled Agile.
Yeah, right.
DevOps.
Yeah, DevOps.
Whatever
yeah.
future is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the continuous deployment stuff, you know, that the ability to support those automated testing pipelines and know how to build a set of tests that, you know, fits into that, but doesn't slow it down too much.
Yeah.
Right? And then again, that's very technical. So, yeah, Agile is sort of a catch-all word that gets used to mean a whole lot of different things, right? But it actually, we're seeing DevOps, we're seeing Kanban, CI/CD, continuous deployment, all of these kinds of things. And of course, Internet of Things and microservices makes this interesting too, because there's a, you know, this is true of mobile, but it's getting even more true now is this everything talks to everything else, right? And so being able to understand interoperability testing is really key. And here, you know, when you're talking interoperability, again, you're talking technical, because this is, you know, APIs to APIs and data layer to data layer kind of thing. And it's, if you can't understand that, it's hard to test it.
Yeah, for 5G, you definitely need that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Rex.
All right, great. Thank you, Szilard. It's a
Good
pleasure.
to talk to you.
Yes, good talking to you. Thanks.
Thanks.